Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Menhera Monday. I'm your host, Exhibit A, wishing you a very happy Menhera Monday. Thank you all for being here. Let's see who's in the chat today. Hello, Tedia, aka Wujime. You've had a name change. Hello, Zana-chan. You might not be here anymore because you said you're leaving. Hello, Mr. Weenus. I'm glad to see you here. I've seen you in various places, so I'm glad that you've decided to attend here. Hello, Toy. Hello, Bulletproof Bish. Hello, Salad. I don't know if Salad's still here. They needed to go soon. Hello, Daniel. Glad you could make it. Who else is here? Hello, Utopia. Hello, Belle. Hello, Spider Guy. Hello, Unknown. I don't think I said Unknown yet, did I? I think that's everyone. If I forgot you, I'm very sorry. But feel free to say hi again. I will hopefully notice you. Alright. Anyway, yes. Thank you all for being here. Also, Zana, do not worry if you haven't posted an answer. You're still allowed to be here even if you don't post an answer. You're not obligated. It's not a price that you must pay. Menhera Monday is free for everybody. It is free. It's a free gift to the world because I'm so generous. All right. Did you say my name like that? I don't know. I don't know what way I said it. Yeah, mods ban them. If you don't answer the question, you get banned. I'm still here, but I have to leave pretty soon. I'm always busy Mondays. This sucks. Oh man, that does suck. Yeah, but hopefully, if I keep doing a schedule from here on out, hopefully you are able to attend more things. Because maybe you'll know ahead of time if there's something you can go to. Be late for our date. I'll be watching too. What do you mean? What? Am I forgetting something? Alright. Now, we're gonna look at the responses. Yep, so, this week's question was... What is it? What's something that's looked down upon that you think shouldn't be? Now, I think this is a very interesting topic because in our society, in our world, there's many things that are looked down on, that people do. But some of those things maybe shouldn't be looked down on. Maybe some of those things are unjustified. So, we're gonna look at what you guys think, because I have a lot of opinions when it comes to this, and you guys probably do too. Let's take a look at the first one. The first one is by Salad. And this one is gooning. For real, gooning. I agree. Gooning should not be looked down upon. Gooning is very based. Very cool. And I think the next one you wrote was also in the same vein. Okay, this one is also written by Salad. Okay, but deadass, if you're a gooner and aren't harming people, then who cares? I want a dry Reiner Braun oiled up. I'm not hurting anyone. And the name they wrote this time was Goon Tinks, aka Salad. Yeah, because you're a Latinx. So true. Alright, I'm gonna get new music, like I always have to. Because I never really... I didn't think of what music to do, so we're doing Animal Crossing again. Good. Let's hope it's not too loud. Okay. I have to... We love ethical gooning, for real, yes. Okay, this needs to be louder. Okay, is this too loud? I don't freaking know. Or is it too quiet? Or is it about right? You guys can at least hear it, right? Okay, I'm gonna set it back to the start. What's unethical gooning? It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, some things I could bring up, but I don't know if I want to. Alright, I've been missing a lot of people's messages. I should be reading. Mine might have been a bit off topic. Yeah. What if anyone actually answered accurately and seriously? Some people did, from what I, like, saw when I was just brushing over it. We're having several mental disabilities, and by extension, physical ones. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty common thing for people to... That gets, like, stigmatized, perhaps. Not perhaps. It gets stigmatized, and it's not like a... Anyway, but I'll be reading that. I don't need to talk about it now. I'll talk about it when I read it. Alright, yeah. You guys are mostly just talking to each other in the beginning. Yeah, alright. What is unethical gooning? Peak question. I mean... I don't know. Not all material is, legal. So, that would be maybe unethical. The unethical gooning. I don't know. Organic gooning straight from the fields, yes. Alright, we're moving to the next one. This one is by Riku, something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Having autism, ADHD, bipolar, or the countless mental illnesses that exist today. Also seeking therapy regardless of gender. Men can and should be allowed to go to therapy even if it's seen as quote-unquote weak. Very true, yes. So, seeking help for, like, mental issues is quite, looked down upon. And you're seen as weak for it if you're a guy. And that's not good, because people need that. It's very weird how we stigmatize things that are, like, quite natural and healthy. It's very unusual, because, you know, we actually need to seek help if we need that. So viewing it as weak to do that is a bit silly, because then, you know, people who need that help will just avoid it because they don't want to be seen as weak. They don't want to be... They're like, no, I'm strong, I can handle it. It's like, no. If anything, it's the opposite. You're stronger if you have the humility to go and do that, to go seek that help. Because you're strong enough to sort of push aside that feeling of, you know, it takes maturity to do that. To get over that fear of being weak. If anything, that makes you a lot stronger as a person. But a lot of things are viewed very, very negatively. But yeah, this is something we talk about in quite a few weeks, so I probably don't need to talk about it in detail again. Because, you know, it's a common theme, because we're all kind of autistic here. We're all experienced with this. What would inorganic gooning be? Oh my god. I don't know. Inorganic gooning. Maybe like AI generated stuff. That's not very organic. It's not... I feel like whenever I see some material, I want it to have been made with love, made with heart and passion. I don't want something that a computer generated. I want like as I'm gooning, I want to like feel. I want to really feel the effort, you know? I want to look at it and think, wow, this is like a real work of art. That adds to it, you know? It's like, I want to know that this came from, you know? You know what I mean? Yeah. Pride is one of the deadly sins after all, and once that managed to overstep the pride and ask for help is strong. Yes, that's true. But, you know, it's ironic, though, because we're very much encouraged to view it that way, to view that stuff as weak. As an ethical gooner, you have to see the love crafted into the goon material, exactly. You have to... You know, it just feels better when you know it came from It's nice to know that there's people out there willing to create good art. Therapy should definitely be for everyone. As a society, we need to recognize that emotions exist. Yeah. Emotions are feminine, y'all. That's true. Having emotions is actually a woman thing. So if you're a man, you shouldn't feel things. Like, you should just stay blank all the time and never smile. Enjoying life is actually for women. If you're a man, you're not allowed to enjoy life. You are supposed to just exist and be tough. You know, if you're having fun, and you feel good, I don't know, man. You're kind of acting like a girl. I don't know. Mental health is better when you admit you need help. Yeah. You're just like Sayori. You mean from Doki Doki Literature Club? No emotions allowed for men. Exactly. It's gay. Emotions are gay. Guys, none of that. Having emotions actually isn't allowed in the exhibit server. That is true. My emotion is of constant rage, and so I'm validated to increase the mass of the proton. Yeah, you did really want to... You were really pushing for that last week. You should be allowed to express your emotions in a healthy way without fear of judgment. Yes, that is true. Well, yeah, Thomas is talking about, like, therapy. I've not been to therapy, so I can't confirm or deny, but I'm sure he speaks from good experience. Emotions are mandatory on Moxie server. Yeah, I don't know. Moxie, I think Moxie might be a girl. I think Moxie might be a girl then. Emotions. You have emotions? No. A statistic says all living women breathe, so that means breathing is for women. That's a very good point. Alright, well. Alright, moving on to the next one. Let's see. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Sounding. I like to put the DS stylus in my urethra. Written by Spider Guy. Yes, the real Spider Guy, totally. Yeah, so not that long ago we had a conversation about sounding. And, yeah, now it's a thing. Now this is the thing we do on the server. Does everyone know what sounding is? Does anyone need to have it explained? Because, if anyone doesn't know what it is, I can give you a little lesson. A little demonstration. I can show you on camera. Yeah, it wasn't me. Wait, but doesn't it say... It says Spider Guy. Yes, the real Spider Guy, totally. It has to be Spider Guy. Yeah, come on, Spider Guy. You like to put, DS stylus in your urethra? Why are you denying it? You wrote it right here. It says your name. It says the totally real Spider Guy. Why would someone write that if they're not Spider Guy? That doesn't make sense. That's you in here. I've never heard this term before, but I'm pretty sure that can cause serious damage. Yeah, probably. I guess that description gave away what it is. Yeah, so I don't know how safe sounding is, or if there's ways to do it that do not, damage you. But yeah, it does seem like the kind of thing that'd be not so safe, doesn't it? But they came up with a freaking term for it. I remember I used to not know what that was, and then they were like, oh, don't look up what sounding is. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna look up what sounding is. And I was like, oh god, no. Please explain what sounding is. I think you guys can guess. It's when you put... It's when you put something inside of your... Anyway, I'm saying this. If you... I'm... Please explain. It's going over my head. Okay, I guess I need to explain it. So sounding is when you put like a thin rod or something, like a little thin thing. Not like a needle. A needle would be too thin, like a rod or something, you know, like a small thing. And you put it into the hole of your penis. Yeah. You put it in there. And then... Yeah, some people like that, and they find it nice. So... Oh my god, why did I Google it? Yeah, well... Yeah, that's, Exhibit love sounding? No, I do not. I do not. Should I have explained it? I don't know if I should have. I feel like you guys... I feel like your lives are worse now after learning about it, to be honest. I guess you guys... I feel like I've made things worse. It's an info hazard. It's information that harms you by you knowing it. I'd rather just be mauled by a bunch of wolves than do that. Real. Next answer. Okay, time to move on. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. I look down on little people. They belong back into my chocolate factory singing songs. This one is written by Snakey Wonka. Wait, this is about stuff that's not that you don't think should be looked down on. This is, you're writing your own freaking prejudices in here. What are you doing, Snakey Wonka? Bro. Who invited Willy Wonka to the freaking Menhera Monday? What's going on here? I have to go now? Alright, see you later, bulletproof bitch. Thanks for stopping by. I think sounding's a lot easier for men since the male urethra is kind of root. Okay, yeah, listen, stop. We don't, you know, we're done talking about that. We're done with that. We're done. Please, I was plenty freaky before this. I feel the same after learning that. Oh, okay, unknown. Tough guy. Got a tough guy over here. Ah. I'm so tough. Sounding doesn't even faze me. Sounding? More like I'm not listening. You know, man, I'm so unfazed. I'm a cool guy. Noah Tonin, welcome, Noah. Welcome to the stream. What did I just... Snake's rebelling against himself? Damn. Calling him short. Okay. Next one. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Bernie's white body pillow storage room. Gets awkward when family comes over. No name written, but, boy, I sure do wonder who wrote this one. Ah, guys, I don't know who wrote this one. It was written by an unknown person. Guess we'll never know. It was written by an unknown person. Yeah, Guess we'll never know. Yeah, rice purity score. Maybe I should do that. I mean, I could do it on stream at some point, but like, I'd probably go through it a lot faster if I'm doing it on my own, and it's not like and I'm not doing it like with someone else. But I'd probably no, I already did the test, so I think I know my result. I might have forgotten it though. So, oh yeah, I literally did it already. I forgot. I did that already. I forget what it was. Alright, let's see. Next one. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. I think a lot of people are very quick to look down upon sex workers and have become very sex negative when I feel we shouldn't be. I think that as long as an individual goes into sex work fully consenting and without having to have been groomed or pressured into doing so, then it's perfectly okay as long as they're happy. I think there's a lot to be said about the problems that stem from the sex industry itself, because there is quite a lot of genuine problems. But we should never shame people for having these kinds of jobs, and we also shouldn't shame people for promiscuity. If someone wants to be promiscuous and does so in a way that's safe, respectful, and not harmful or promoting harm, then who are we to judge? In other words, I think we should all be supportive towards Exhibit A and his journey through the world of sounding. Bro, why did it come back? This one is actually written by Spider, I'm assuming, because it says Spider. Yeah. Yeah, you should be more supportive of people like me who do these activities for money, you know? But yeah, I totally agree, and I don't, you know, like, I think, yeah, okay, so here's one thing I don't get. There's a lot of people out there who have negative views on, like, sex work and, like, doing porn, prostitution, whatever. But there's a lot of those people, a lot of those same people, still watch porn, right? So you see all these people being like, oh man, these whores doing freaking, ugh, disgusting. What is these people, these whores? Oh, if you do porn, you're like a lesser being. You're like, oh man, no one's ever, you know, you're damaged goods. You're, and then you ask them, oh, do you watch porn? And they're like, oh yeah. And it's like, okay, buddy. So you're saying you look down on these people that you're jerking off to, right? They make the stuff that allows you to get off. They make the stuff that, like, that gives you the ability to enjoy yourself. And you instead of feeling grateful to them for providing you with good material, you hate them? Like, what? What, are you just jerking off to it there, being like, these stupid people. Ha! I'm glad I'm over here jerking off to them, and they're over there being stupid and pathetic so that I can enjoy myself. It's like, I don't understand that mentality. It's like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to the freaking people who do porn, right? They provide something for me. I'm like, yeah. I'm glad you guys are making this stuff. Like, I'm you know, I appreciate them. I feel like they just, I give them my appreciation, you know? I'm like, you know, I give you a thumbs up, you know? A thumbs up. You know, my hand may be covered in cum, but it's a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. And so it's like, I understand people, like, being against porn if they don't watch it, right? If they're like, they never watch it, if you're one of those freaking, like, no-fap people or whatever. Like, at that, you know, I don't really agree with that movement. But, like, I I would at least understand. That's like a consistent position. You're like, okay, I don't like... you shouldn't, you know, if you do porn, you're bad. But also, if you watch it, you shouldn't be watching it. It's like, okay, whatever. But like, if you watch it, and you freaking badmouth the people that make the material you jerk off to, it's like, bro... You're like... Man, it's like you're biting the hand that jerks you off, you know? Oh no! Alright, let's see. Let me catch up on all the messages. Wow, I don't know, could have wrote that. Wait, that's probably the previous one. Yeah. Exhibit sounding era low-key underrated so far. Yeah, guys, wow. I'm supportive of your new venture, exhibit. Yeah, test did not come at a good time. This is not... I only watch anime women, though. I mean, fair enough. That doesn't apply to you, then. Yeah, but I mean, in the case of, like... in the case of anime stuff, you gotta appreciate the people who make the hentai for you, you know? Whatever you do, you should appreciate the... you should appreciate the people who make your material. If it's material you enjoy, you should appreciate those people, not look down on them, you know? Don't bite the hand that jerks you off, peak exhibit quote. For real, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Don't bite the hand that jerks you off. Yeah, but let's see. Prefer Death Moxie Papa. What? Was that your name? Are you... Oh, right, okay, I think your name before was Preferred Death. And now you have Moxie Papa in your name now. Yeah, I saw you in... Yeah. Or maybe I'm remembering wrong, I don't know. We ethical gooners, we stand real artists that pour their heart and soul into the hentai. Yes, exactly. Yeah. There are a lot of issues with the porn industry, though, because, like, the whole, I feel like some companies like Pornhub have gotten in trouble in the past for, like, allowing certain stuff, and they were forced to, like, delete a bunch of stuff. But, you know, that is indeed a different matter. But, you know, I brought up, yeah, no, a lot of people... Yeah, a lot of people talk about how it's like, well, it's bad for the people going into it as well. And, you know, that's a little bit less bad, because then you're not demonizing them, you're saying, well, it's bad for them, and, like, if they're sort of, like, you know, victims of it. But I think that very much depends on what you do. Because I think there's some people out there who are, you know, doing just fine, and their lives are better for it. And then there's some people who have been, you know, exploited by, like, bad companies and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, this is more about, like... Yeah. No, I mentioned, when I just got here and people are talking about gooners. Yeah. That is part of what we talk about here, yes indeed. Now, I mentioned NoFap earlier, didn't I? Yeah. What do you guys think about NoFap? I'm guessing you guys wouldn't have a good impression of it, considering that most of you are like mega gooners. I don't think I don't think any of us here really are really gonna be super on the NoFap train, right? Unless you guys, maybe you'll surprise me and be like, well, actually, I tried it, nothing changed. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's something a lot of people turn to because their lives are bad and they're sort of told, they're like, I mean, basically everyone in the NoFap community is like, you know, if you stop fapping, then your life will improve and everything will get better. And that's sort of the promise that they give you. But yeah, I mean, here's what I think. So, I think there's two very distinct views when it comes to NoFap. One is that, oh, NoFap is good and that everyone should do it and that it's what you do to improve your life. And then the other is, like, NoFap is completely pointless and, like, the idea of doing it completely, you know, is like, no one should ever do it, right? Now, technically, I don't actually agree with either of those views because I think that it really depends on the person. So if you... I think if you have, like, a severe, like, porn addiction or something... If you, okay, like, not even in regards to that. If you have a severe addiction of any kind, sometimes the best thing you can do is to just stop doing it entirely. So let's say you're addicted to alcohol. A lot of the time people will say, you know, just quit. You don't start, like, taking smaller doses. You don't, like, start, like, only drinking it in moderate amounts. They usually say, well, you just stop, right? And so a lot of the people on the NoFap subreddits are going, like, overly far and being like, oh, I stopped jerking off, and I have superpowers now. Every time, I can now levitate objects with my mind. I can now, I walk into the room and all the women suddenly pay attention to me and they just know something's different. They can sense the extra semen in my balls. And then they talk about it like it's like totally life-changing and how you stop jerking off, everything is amazing. That's like, okay. The thing that I don't agree with is that they're selling this as like, this is something that everybody should, like, do and everyone will benefit from. But, like, I think for some of these people, I don't think they're lying. When they say that their lives improve when they stop doing it, I don't think they're lying. I think it's just because they were, like, mega addicted. They were just super duper addicted to porn. And so if you're mega addicted to something to the point that it ruins your life and then you stop doing it, like, yeah, duh, you're gonna feel, like, way better. So the people on these subreddits who are talking about how, like, or in these communities who are talking about how it, like, changes their life and makes it better, it's like, I don't think, they're not all lying, right? Like, it's not some psyop where everyone is, like, gaslighting themselves. It's like, yeah, it works for some people, because if you have a really bad addiction, ending that addiction can be a good thing if it has been interfering with your life a lot. So, that's the thing. So I think people who dismiss that and say, well, anyone who tries NoFap at all is just stupid, I don't agree with that. However, I would say that the NoFap community, their, like, little circle, is not really a good circle. So, like, if you want to, like, avoid masturbating or just avoid looking at porn because you're trying to quit an addiction, I think that's completely reasonable. But I don't really think you should get involved with the NoFap community because they have a bunch of beliefs and stuff that come with them. For example, like, they don't view it as just something that some people should do. They view it as something that, like, everyone should do. Like, if you still jerk off and you meet, like, a NoFap person, they're gonna be like, "Wow, you still do that? You still do that? Ah, you're just addicted. You're just," and it's like, and you know, that's silly because, again, the thing is, it's not true that that kind of stuff doesn't work for anybody, but it's also not the case that, like, it's for everybody. Because I think everyone's wired a bit differently. Some people can, like, handle having certain things in their life, some people can't, you know? Some people can handle having, like, alcohol in their life, and some people can't. And that's not even a good comparison, because alcohol is way more addictive than, like, jerking off, and is a lot more unhealthy and damaging to your health. But I mean, I use that as a comparison because it's something that some people can handle and some people can't. Yeah. Oh hell no! I support fat be goon, be goon. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's like a and like the no fap community comes with a lot of like, yeah, again, they have a very negative view of like sex workers, as we sort of talked about before. They kind of have some negative views about women in general. They kind of just think, they're kind of like they're a bit shifty, right? They're like, but if you want to like quit porn for your own reasons, you can do that. I just wouldn't recommend being on those like sites and stuff, you know. But I also think addictions like that can sort of come from a lack of other things in your life, so I wouldn't necessarily say that the solution is to just stop doing that either way. I don't know, though. It's kind of complicated, because I think a lot of it is stuff that is steeped in research that I'm not that familiar with. There's no FAP, but is there also all FAP? That would be... I would prefer that, yeah. Alright, let me just see what people are typing in here. Find it funny, some people seem offended by nofap and scream to people not to try it. I don't get that. Sounds like they have a vested interest in having you addicted. Yeah, I mean, again, as I said, I do not think that nofap is something you have to do, and I think this idea that they believe in, that, like, everyone else needs to be doing it, is silly. But, I mean, if someone wants to quit, porn, I think that's fine. I think there's reasons to want to do that. Because there is such a thing as porn addiction. It is a real thing that can happen. You can get addicted to anything that feels good. You can get addicted to food, even though you need that, but, like, that's a different story, because you need that to survive. You can get addicted to video games, you can get addicted to, like, anything. And, you can get addicted to anything that feels good. And the thing is with, like, porn, is that it feels good, and it's very effortless. It doesn't require any effort on your part. You really went from TF2 to a real talk about gooning. I mean, I talk about these things. This is what my channel is about. We talk about the complicated issues. We talk about the real issues, okay? This is what matters, yeah? I support gooner activities as a non-gooner. Gooning is not an evil thing. I agree, yes, yes. But yeah, it's like, my thoughts aren't coming to me very clearly right now. It's kind of hard to articulate myself. But anyway, my point is, people have a tendency to project, right? So people who struggle with a certain kind of addiction will assume that other people who are doing it are also addicted. Or if someone quits a certain thing, they'll assume that other people who are doing it should quit, just like they do. So for example, say someone's like is an ex-alcoholic, right? And they quit alcohol and they're like clean of it. If they go around seeing other people drinking, they'll usually say things like, oh, you know, or not usually. Sometimes they'll say things like, you shouldn't be drinking, or, oh, you know, you should quit, or, you know, they'll implicitly think in their head, you know, everyone else should quit too, because they'll become addicted like I did. And they view it as a vice, because that's their personal experience with it. But that's not the case. There are some people who really can handle those kinds of things. Same applies to, like, porn. If someone has quit porn because they had, like, a really bad addiction with it, they'll project their experience on everyone else and say, well, they should quit it too. Because they're just addicted like I was. They are struggling, and they're gonna, you know, they need to quit like I did. Because, you know, and then yeah, exactly, Spider. You get it, like a superiority complex over it. It's like, you know, I managed to quit, and everyone else should be too, but they're not, and that makes me, I'm stronger than them for being able to. Like, that's their mindset, usually. So... But I think the thing to keep in mind is that it just doesn't work for everyone. You know, some people try try that stuff, and then they never, it doesn't make their life any better. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll move on. I will move on. Oh man, I stayed on that one for a long time, didn't I? Yeah, we love gooning conversations here, don't we? Okay, let me just read through this one. Okay. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. I've thought about it, and I can't seem to come up with something that shouldn't be looked down upon without making it political. However, I do have something that isn't looked down upon, but really should be. The efficient way we dispose of waste and trash. Before you roll your eyes and tune out, please give me just a moment of consideration. The amount we simply toss into a pile to be in a bigger pile is outrageous. In the US, I think the average is 1 full bag of trash per person per day. The organic matter isn't able to properly decompose, so it just makes methane, and so much of the material could otherwise be reused. Even our recycling efforts are poor at best. Much of it becomes trash anyway, not to mention the industrial chemical spills that have literally poisoned entire towns for generations, causing all kinds of unnecessary suffering. What bothers me the most about this is the fact that it's nothing to do with politics or religion. It's simply a matter of being lazy as a whole. I understand it's not easy to recycle or reuse or compost, but if we as people tried to make a better system, we certainly could. It breaks my heart to see the beauty of nature suffocating on our trash. Like we don't have to see it, so we don't care. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox now. Don't forget to like the video. This one was written by Toybox. Alright, let me just read over this again. So, this is about, is it about not recycling, or... Yeah, so wait, are you talking about like people not recycling enough, or are you talking about like the system as a whole? Because you say that recycling doesn't really do much good either, which is sort of my take as well, so like I don't really think it's really our fault. But I'm not quite sure if like that's what you're saying, or if you're saying that like people are, or that like we're like lazy or not like doing things we should be. Because I think there's a difference between like if it's the fault of the people like not doing it correctly, or if it's the fault of like the government not implementing a better system for like dealing with this. So I need to clarify what your position is. Yeah, I hear yeah, it's true. I do hear Germany has like a much more advanced like recycling system. I'm saying we should recycle more and the system needs reform. I'm saying both. Okay. Alright, alright. I see. Yeah. Yeah, I think the way things currently work with recycling is that they kind of use that as like a stand-in. So they encourage people to recycle, but they're kind of doing that to absolve like the bigger companies of responsibility, even though they have more control over it. And sort of putting the onus on like individuals when that really only makes like a small difference. So I mean, yeah, and as you said, like a lot of the stuff we recycle becomes trash anyway, so that, like some of it's a bit of a scam, right? We think we're making a difference, but then whenever we recycle it, not all of it actually gets recycled, and it's kind of, you know, it's debatable how much that really does. So personally, I don't know how much responsibility I would really put on like individuals, because I think no matter, even if we like were to put like lots of effort into making sure we do everything correctly, like that wouldn't make a big difference, I don't think. But I agree with the part about making you know, the government and corporations and all that be better. and more responsible. Because I feel like nothing's really going to change unless until we change things from like the top down. You know, the bottom up approach of just the consumers changing how they do things, you know, that'll only ever go so far. And again, that'll only make that not only would that make only a small bit of progress, but it would only make progress if everyone were to do it. And that's probably not going to happen. You know, that sounds pessimistic, but I don't, you know, good luck persuading everyone else to do it, even if you do it. So I put my focus on, like, the government and stuff. And, yeah, pretty much advocating the right policies. And, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's me shirking responsibility, maybe that's just because but I think the difference you make as, like, regular individuals is quite limited, and you should advocate for the systems to change, in my opinion. But maybe we make social progress on Menhera Mondays? Yes, we do. We do. We make social progress on so many things. On gooning, on recycling and waste, trash removal. We make social progress on, yeah, everything. There are environmentalists who protest more than they recycle, though. Kind of hypocritical, if you ask me. I don't know. I think there's some environmentalists who, like, seem kind of obnoxious or whatever, but... Well, again, I don't know much about environmentalists. Like, I think about, like... There's a couple organizations I know of, but... I don't think I actually know enough about that to really talk about it. The new theory has dropped in Moxie's Discord. He is secretly toy. Gonna expose Moxie here. Skip the recycling, must reuse stuff if you can. Yeah, depends. There's some things you can't really recycle, though. No, sorry. Some things you can't really, like, reuse that much, though. You know, like, what are you gonna reuse your freaking, like, yogurt cartons for? But, like, bottles, sure. You can refill that with, like, water and stuff. And I do that a lot, because, like, I don't want to spend money if I don't have to, so I'll refill a bottle. But that's about all I got, really. People are for sure underestimating the long-term effects that this shit's gonna have on the planet. Yeah, that's definitely true. I feel like, I mean, people don't... We kind of just don't think about it. But someday it will bite us in the ass. Pretty much. Recycle as often as possible, but there are some things you can't recycle. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. That theory means Moxie is a sub. Wow, true. It is a good point. If you can reuse yogurt containers, people do that. More storage. What also bothers me is that people complained about paper years ago and not plastic, and yet there are toys that are made of plastic. I don't know if this is related, but what you said reminded me of something else. So, like... You know what really... Something that seems kind of weird to me is that, like, part of... Oh, hello, Kleb. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so... Something that people, like, advocate for to try and improve the environment and stuff is, like, replacing plastic straws with paper straws. Now, I understand that in theory, because, again, you know, plastic is worse than paper for the environment and so on. But, two small issues. One, paper straws don't work very well, because they get soggy. and they don't last, right? You need that stuff. You need to be able to drink the liquid. And if you're putting the paper into liquid, it's gonna get all soggy, and then it stops working, and then you got a soggy straw. That's not, that's not good. That's not efficient. That doesn't work. So I feel like that's not the best place to be replacing things. Yeah. But then the other thing that kind of makes that situation weirder is that a lot of the time that you're given a paper straw, guess what you're drinking out of? Guess what you're drinking out of? It's a plastic cup. You're drinking out of a plastic cup. So it's like, I don't know, it's like, isn't the cup worse? Like the straw, yeah, it's like, yeah, restaurants will give giant plastic cups and a paper straw to be environmentally friendly. Exactly, exactly. So like, I'm all for making changes that, will make the world better, but like, maybe don't make that change with like a thing that literally will dissolve in the water if you make it into paper. That's not really good. It's a paper cup though? No, it depends. It depends. Because sometimes they do use a paper cup, and actually, funnily enough, I think paper cups are a lot... I don't know what it is, but paper cups are actually stronger than like paper straws. Because I guess they're bigger and you can put more material into them. So, to be honest, I'd much rather you make the cup paper and then keep the straw as plastic. That would be better. I'd prefer that. But instead they make the straw paper and make the cup plastic. And then, obviously, all that plastic is getting used. It's worse because there's more plastic. And then the straw is like... I don't know, I feel like the priorities are kind of backwards there. You should maybe... How about not let Taylor Swift fly her private jet? That would do better to the environment than banning all the cars in Europe. Yeah, that's the thing. So, I mean, it's one thing to go after, like, yeah, like, individuals for, like, polluting and stuff and causing issues, but, like rich billionaires and stuff, they are, like, millionaires. I think Taylor's just a millionaire, right? Paper cup won't last long either. Okay. Well, I'm not 100% familiar, because I feel like I've used paper cups before, and they at least last longer than paper straws, I'll say that. But, yeah, like one rich millionaire, billionaire using their private jet frequently does, like, infinitely more damage than, like, all the rest of people on Earth combined doing what they do on a daily basis, so... If there's one place you want to start, I feel like that's the best place to start, because if you just stopped the people using their, like, private jets, you'd already be helping the environment a lot, so... It's weird to go after just regular people when them making tremendous sacrifices will only make the tiniest difference, but you could stop one millionaire from doing their stuff, and you've made, like, a huge difference. It's kind of, like, reverse priorities, right? When you're going after people who are, like, making such small negative differences to the world when you could be going after the people making, like, big differences. There were times I had a to-go cup that leaked from the bottom after hours of having the drink in it still. Oh gosh, yeah, well... I guess paper cups aren't the best, but, I mean, I feel like it depends. I feel like I haven't had, like, the worst it probably depends on the kind of paper cup, I'd imagine. Like, the cheap ones maybe aren't so good. Then again, I haven't used a paper cup in a while, so... I don't know. Why not ban both private jets and cats? What are cats doing? Why ban cats? Cats are cool. I like cats. I like glass straws. Yeah, I guess, okay, well, I get the image now. So I guess paper cups, they'll stop working after, like, a couple of hours. So if you have your drink around a long time, it's not very good. So it just depends on what you need, I suppose. Because I feel like a lot of people would drink their drink fast enough for that to not happen. But yeah, if you have your drink around several hours, not so good. But then again, my point still stands. I'd much rather have paper cups than paper straws. Because if it's a paper straw, that will last like a few minutes. A paper cup will at least last like an hour. Don't worry about it, you and Moxie are both my subs, but I only reward good subs. Damn, okay. Belle's here collecting her little harem. Damn. Can I get in on some of that action? Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Jobs that involve a lot of manual labor and grime. Garbage, sanitation, janitors, etc. This one is written by Nate. Yeah, true, because these people provide a very important service, but people look down on it. It's like, if they weren't doing, like, no, if they don't do it, who will? Someone needs to do it for you. You know? Like, do you want to do it yourself? Probably not, so you should be grateful to the people who are doing it. And the thing that does kind of suck is that, you know, these jobs that are to do with manual labor, that require lots of work and, like, stress and, like, a lot of doing unpleasant stuff, like being a janitor or a garbage person, things like that. A lot of these are, like, lower paying jobs. Which is, you know, I've had a thought. It's like, I feel like it should be the other way around, right? Shouldn't the most undesirable jobs be the most high-paying, if anything? Because those are the ones that, like, people least want to do, so you should get the most reward to give them more incentive. But no, the jobs that pay the best are the jobs that are kind of the easiest, right? Like being a CEO, for example. It's like, the jobs that pay the best are, like, if you're in, like, some high position where you don't need to work as much and you can, like, fire people. So I feel like it should be the other way around. You should be able to... The jobs that are the least pleasant to do and least desirable should be the most well-paying as compensation for, like, what you're going through. And then people can pick that if they want to prioritize pay over enjoyment. And then if people think, okay, well, I'm okay being paid less, but I want a job I enjoy, then they can pick the more enjoyable jobs that pay less. I feel like that system would make more sense intuitively. But I guess at the same time, we don't really have control over it, right? Because it's like, you know, supply and demand. So yeah, I don't know. We can't really control the job market to that degree, unfortunately. It's sort of an ideal view to have. You're always welcome. Newcomers get Toy and me for the first time. Ooh, we have yet to collect a full harem. Yes. Heck yeah. Threesome win. Anyway, but then the best paying jobs would be the least desirable if they weren't best paying. No one would be a doctor if they could wipe counters and serve people for more pay. Yeah, yes, that's true, Okay, yeah. Jobs like being a doctor or something. Of course. Yeah, you shouldn't. I feel like those should still be the highest paying. I don't think you should be paid more for being a janitor than being a doctor. Being a doctor is still a very difficult job, though, but people like that job because it's well paying. But yeah, I mean, the jobs that are most urgent and, like, necessary for society should be the best paying. So, stuff like doctor, the fact that doctor is so well paying, I think that that's good. I think that's one job that's appropriately priced. Or appropriately paid. So no, of course, I don't think you should be paid more for, like, wiping counters. But you should maybe be paid more for wiping counters than, like, other, I don't know, like, cushier jobs, like, comfier jobs, the more easy ones, you know, like... I think we should have universal income, not enough to not work, but enough that we don't have to be in survival mode. I think if that can work economically, then I'm definitely in favor for that. But I don't know economics, so. Name 5 cushy jobs. Why are you trying to test me right now? CEO. Then again, I can't imagine a world where being a CEO would pay you less than being a freaking janitor. That'd be a very interesting world. It's been proven to work elsewhere? Well, that's good. It only works on a restricted community, it's not scalable. Yeah, see, there's lots of things that I'm in favor of, like, in theory. I just don't know if they work. Like, I love the idea of everyone just having money. Or, like, having, you know, universal basic income. I think that'd be good. But I know other people argue, oh, that doesn't work because of this and that. And it's like, well, I don't know who's right, because I haven't really studied it. But if it will work, then I'm totally in favor. Except I feel like you're your own boss. Yeah, that's right. I am my own boss. I want to have the cushiest job of all. I'm going to be a VTuber streamer. I'm just going to live off being a content creator. And it's going to be great. And I'm going to have so much money. And I'm going to be one of the evil rich guys that everyone hates. They're going to be like, oh, he's so rich. Yeah, he's so rich. I want to eat him. I want to eat him because I eat the rich. And I'm going to be like, ha 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 ha. You will not catch me. I am rich. And I will pay people to silence you. Streaming is the hardest job in the world. Ah, so true. Ah, streaming is so difficult, guys. It's harder than a 9 to 5. Ah, man. Guys, you guys don't know the pain of being a streamer. You guys working 9 to 5 jobs wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get the struggle of being a streamer. Bro, I can't believe there's people unironically saying that. It's funny. Frickin' Hassan and like other people saying that. But sleep study specimens, video game tester, psychology study specimens, taste tester for Nestle, training AI models, selling your image for AI robot use. Oh yeah, I guess those are cushy jobs, yeah. Well done, toy. Not well done, A. Ah, come on, come on. Why you test? Why you... I don't claim to know everything, okay? Bro, you know what you sound like, Safety? You're like that one guy, that one kid on those freaking TikToks who's like, oh yeah, you think you're smart? Name 5 books. Or, no, name 10 books. Which, like... I know some people... Oh, hello, Peachy. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Some people look at that clip and they're like, oh, that woman is so stupid, she can't name 10 books because the boy asked her to name 10 books to prove she's not smart. And it's like, bro, come on. If someone puts you on the spot like that, even if you know 10 books, are you really gonna just think them all up, like, immediately? Like, not being able to name them all doesn't mean that you're dumb or that you don't read. It just means that you, like, don't think up things on the spot very well, which I think is reasonable. So I think it's weird that people like that clip so much. It's like, oh, look at her get owned. He was like, name 10 books, and she could not name 10 books. And it's like, bro, shut the fuck up, okay? Oh, you're smart, name 5 smarts. Yeah, it's like, oh, you're You're an anime fan? Name 25 anime characters right now. I don't read, so I couldn't do that. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You're just mad you couldn't name 10 books. I can name 10 books. 1984, the Bible, the Quran. That's 3, right? Frickin', James and the Giant Peach. What next? Animal Farm. What's another one? The Ladybird Book of Red Tape. I'm mentioning that one because it's on my fricking desk. What's the other one on my desk? I don't think that counts. That's a play script. Classroom of Elite, the light novel. Let's see, what else? What else we got? Can we name all 10 books? We got, the Crime and Punishment. We've got... We need 2 more. We need two more, guys. Toy, I'm not taking your suggestions, that'd be cheating. Name all the Dr. Seuss books. Alright, I'm not looking at chat. 2 more. 2 more. Oh, Chronicles of Narnia, the first one. I could just name all the ones in the series, I feel like that's cheating, though. Alright, one more. One more. What else? What's okay? Wait. We got. Bro, I just need one more. Come on, bro. Harry Potter. Ah, see, now I wish I thought of that. Doesn't count. You're suggesting it. I can't take your suggestion. I can name 10 books. Spy Family 1, Spy Family 2, Spy Family 3, Spy Family 4. Wow. Very, very good. Holes. Okay, so that's 10. I got 10. Darwin Wimpy Kid. Yeah, that's another one. See, I can name 10 books. What I found really funny though, that same kid who like said, "Oh, name 10 books." Someone in a later video asked him that same thing, like on the spot. I think like someone walked up to him in the street and like said, "Name 10 books." And then he just fucking made up 10 fucking books that didn't exist, okay? And it was so funny. He was like, Marmelo Over the River, James the Jamison, it's just a bunch of fucking, like, random-ass names that, like, they were not real. But, like, he did it so nonchalantly, though. Like, he didn't, like, delay. He just immediately started naming books that didn't exist. If you're so smart, name a woman. A woman? Farina from Genshin Impact. Thanks for the 2B red list, everybody. Yeah! Belle the Book Beast is called Belle the Book Beast for a reason. She is a book beast. She's a beast who consumes books. Very cool. Hope you enjoy those books. Nom nom nom, yes, delicious, eat them up. If only Exhibit had any women fans. Yes, if only. It's not like that. It's like 80% of you. Or maybe, is it? I don't know. Because in the beginning it was mostly women because you came from the other channel, but there's a lot more guys now. That's not a real woman? She's real to me! Play Elden Ring Permadeath, that is such a bad idea. The game that's literally designed to make you die more billion times. You don't play permadeath on that. Not unless you are like... Not unless you are like God himself. But yes, wait, did... I feel like I missed some messages. Alright, let's see. I can be a woman if you want, exhibit. Yes, Belle, I know you're a woman. I was joking. Don't mean to make you guys feel bad. I'm very appreciative of the women in my fan base, okay? And you are all very cool. And I am so supportive of women's causes. I'm such a strong advocate for women. Mm-hmm. Sure, not talking about Dark Souls. Well, Elden Ring is same franchise as Dark Souls, same like world. But it's just open world. And it's, yeah. Did I miss something? I feel like I tried to read something before and it went away. Hello, cute angel. Welcome to the chat. I didn't say hi. I feel like I missed messages. Hi, I'm Jared, 19. I never learned how to read. Me for real. Exhibit is a hero for women. I really am, Toy. I really am. So, like, I don't know, if you ever need someone to, like, protest with you at, like, a women's rights protest, just hit me up. I'm always there. I'm always there. But only if the protest is, like, after 2 p.m. because I don't want to wake up early. I don't know what their gender ratio is, but I know my man, I know there's lots of women here. There's a lot of guys who have come through. Especially from, like, me collabing with Peachy. Always there to protest women's rights? Yes! I am! I care so much about women's rights. I'm so caring. Exhibit A, what about women's wrongs, Well, you know, you want to know something? Want to know something? I support women's wrongs, okay? I support women's wrongs. I think that, you know, if a woman wants to, like, I don't know, commit a little murder, I think that's fine, you know? I think that's fine. Come protest women with me, but you gotta put on the attire. Holds up a maid dress. Women have the right to make me a sandwich. Okay, Tedia. Okay. Oh no. Care so much about women's rights, like, they should... No. You especially care about their right to get in your bed. Conveniently, that is the one I care quite a lot about, yes. Bro. How have I not been cancelled already? This is not gonna look good whenever I get bigger and, like, people on Twitter start to catch my content. Yes, please don't get political. Alright, anyway, we're gonna look on to the next one. Oh, we stayed on that one for quite a long time. Let's just count. So, yeah. Let's just count you now so it doesn't get to that point. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you'd be better off doing that. You'd save yourself a lot of trouble, because I think it's inevitable at this point. You know? It's inevitable. Alright, alright. Yes, alright. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Anything which is not in someone's power to change. Looks, height, race, even intelligence. Sadly, that's not the case, as it's imprinted in our human brain, but I wish people just rationalized this stuff better instead of encouraging it. The birth of TV, social media, and Tinder also made everything worse on that aspect. We now have a completely worthless managing class because career is dictated entirely on looks. What's the point then? Why would I give anything to a world which is not giving back anything but disrespect and mockery? This one was written by Tedia. Okay, so I partially agree with you and I partially disagree with you. So I think, yes, there's a big problem with how your looks, height, race, intelligence, things like that very much affect your position in society. So, you know, I think your attractiveness does affect how much people like you and respect you a lot, unfortunately. And it does affect things like, you know, how successful you are in certain places and all that. But, I feel like whenever you say, career is dictated entirely on looks, I feel like that's where you kind of lose me, because, like, I do think that looks affect a lot of things that it shouldn't be affecting, but I would not go so far as to say that, like, looks is the most important thing ever when it comes to your life. Like, it's something that can affect how life goes, yeah, but it's not the thing that like, when it comes to careers, yeah, I think that can affect people's biases, right? They might be less likely to hire someone, they might let their biases affect them, but, like, it's not... Saying it's dictated entirely on looks, I think that goes a bit too far for, like... I don't quite agree with that. But... yeah, I mean, there's a whole... It is definitely in our nature to, like, judge people based on appearances and, like, these arbitrary factors that are, again, not in people's control. And I think all the time we mistreat people based on factors that they can't control or were born with. And I think that's really fucked up. I think that's very normalized, and I think even the best of us do it in, like, ways we don't even realize. It's very common. So, yeah. That's how it be. I think it's in our nature to do that, because we just kind of like to. But it's not good. Look up the statistics on Manager's exhibit. If you're less than 180 centimeters, it's basically impossible to have a career statistically. Really? If I remember, I will look that up, because that does sound very unusual, but I'm always open to changing my mind on things if there's real evidence for it. Isn't Menhera the girl character he uses for his streams? Yes, so, okay, so the girl that is like the mascot of my Menhera Monday is called Menhera-chan. But the word Menhera refers to, like, it kind of refers to, like, being mentally ill, kind of. It's like, it's like a Japanese word. It's like a fun kind of word for someone who's, like, kind of like mentally ill, but, like, kind of... Yeah, so, like, I don't know how else to put it. But, like, I thought, okay, we'll call it Menhera Monday, because that's fun. And then I thought, okay, well, this girl's called Menhera-chan, so we'll add her on it. So, I didn't call it Menhera Monday because of the girl, I called it Menhera Monday because of the meaning of the word Menhera. But then I made Menhera-chan the mascot because she has that name and she's like made to represent that basically. Like an image job where looks are everything. Porn. Yeah, that is true. Now, well, here's the thing, right? Even in that, it's not like... Well, okay, no, I guess you'd get good at it after a while. Yeah, I guess looks would be everything, probably. But, I mean, here's the other thing to keep in mind, right? Here's the other thing. A lot of people actually underestimate how much work goes into, like, making porn. Especially if you're, like, independent and you're not just being recorded by, like, other people. So, a lot of people are like, oh, it's, like, such an easy job. It's like, you just get rich quickly. It's like... But you actually... I mean, if you still need to put in all the work that you would be if you were, like, a different kind of content creator, right? So you've got to, like... It's not just about posting the images, it's also about promoting yourself. It's also about sort of doing the right kind of advertising. It's about doing deals that get you, like, more exposure. And you gotta, like, you still gotta be, like, diligent with how you do things, like, consistently, and you need to set up good shots and all that, and, like, you can't, you know, and you can't just do the bare minimum if you want to be ahead of other people doing the same work. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that people assume it's like a get-rich-quick scheme, when in reality, the people who get really rich off of, like, OnlyFans and stuff, when you think of stuff like that, you're like, oh, it's like, you just get rich if you do OnlyFans. It's like the people who get really rich from that are only a small percentage of the people who do OnlyFans. The vast majority of the people who do it don't actually get to that level. So they'll, like, maybe earn enough to be earning the same amount as, like, other people working regular jobs, but they won't actually be... You know, they won't actually be earning enough to make them rich. It'll just be, you know, they'll be earning a living wage. Maybe even barely enough, depending on, like, if they're not doing too well. I think people assume it's, like, an easy thing. It's not. You gotta actually put work in. You know? And yeah, especially if you're fucking... That's true, Tedia. You gotta, like, have a lot of stamina for that. It's like... Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, I'd love to... Especially guys, they're like, because they're like, oh man, I wish male porn stars were more in demand, because I would love to be a porn star. I just get to fuck girls all day, it'd be so good. And it's like, well, if you look at how it is for, like, people who are, like, really involved with, like, porn, it can be, like, it's a big job, right? Like, sure, I'm sure there's, like, parts of it that you might like. It's not like you're gonna hate it all the time. But you need a lot of stamina, right? And they even, like, inject you with things that, like, help you maintain your erection and stuff, when ordinarily it would go down, because you need to have it up for, like, hours and hours, so... It's, you know... But yeah, I don't know, it really depends. Because, I mean, I think some people... On the other hand, I think some people really do enjoy doing porn, right? Which I know a lot of people are like, no, that doesn't exist, they're just doing it for the money, and it's like, I think some people enjoy it, especially if it's, like, amateur stuff, right? Like, if you look on... Like, yeah, there's a lot of porn done by, like, the freaking... like, high-level companies or whatever, and it's all, like, high budget. But then if you look at the amateur stuff, and it's, like, just regular couples doing stuff because they want to have fun, it's like... I'm sure they enjoy that, or if it's, like, independent people doing stuff and they put stuff out there, it's like... I mean, they do it because they enjoy it, I mean... Some of them, you know? And so they make money and they enjoy recording the videos. It's not unimaginable that they wouldn't get any enjoyment from that. So, I mean, this idea that it's a totally soulless thing isn't true either. It just depends where you're getting it, and it depends on who it is. It's a complicated matter, I suppose. But yes. Plenty of people find fulfillment out of it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. If I could be a corn star, I would, but this body is made of twigs and a dream. Yeah. But, like, yeah, it's so the silver lining is, it is something that requires a lot of work, but it is something you can enjoy as well. But I feel like some people have the wrong idea where it's like, oh, it's this easy, cushy thing. It's not really that. And it's also not a get rich quick scheme, because you get needing, you know, not everyone actually does get rich off of it. Alright, let's read the next one. Yeah, we got a few more to go through. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. My close friends know all about how I feel about this at this point, but pro wrestling is something that I feel is still widely looked down upon. Like, yeah, everyone involved is following some kind of a script, and the wrestlers are still playing different kinds of characters, but is it still fake when you got dudes falling from a 20-foot ladder into a pair of tables? Just saying. This one was written by Noah. Yeah, so I've never watched wrestling, but yeah, I've heard the, like, discourse on it. Like, it being, like, a pre-scripted thing, and people sometimes don't like it because it's, like, fake and stuff, and then some people do still like it. But yeah, I mean, if you like it, you like it. If there's still something to be liked there, I don't think that's a bad thing. I can't really say much on it, because, like, I've never been into it, but... It's still impressive, right? The tricks that they do. Because even if it's pre-scripted, you still need to be very skilled to do the things that they do. Like, for example, falling from a 20-foot ladder into a pair of tables and, like, breaking them and, like, doing these cool, complex maneuvers that would be very dangerous for someone to do if they weren't well trained. Like, that still takes a lot of practice, so there's still a value in seeing that. Yeah. Wonder what makes a person want to go into the industry, but also what do you do if you want out of it or if you can't get out of it? See, that's the thing, right? So, different people get into it for different reasons, and not all of the reasons are positive. So, some people kind of get pushed into doing it or persuaded that it'll be good for them when it actually won't be. I feel like when it comes down to it, things like sex work, porn, any of that, it's something that you should only get into if you really want it yourself. You shouldn't let someone else tell you to want it, right? You shouldn't let someone else tell you that, oh, you should try this out, it'll be great. If you do that, and you let someone persuade you that it's good for you, it might not be. Because it's a very personal thing. And a lot of people do have bad experiences when they do that sort of thing. You know? Not just because of, like, the industry having its problems, but also just even if they're doing, like, their own independent stuff. They might do it and then they regret it. They're like, oh man, I regret putting that stuff out there. People can now jerk off to me whenever they want, and I don't like that because I regret it. I wish I could take it all back. And it's like, I mean, that's serious. I don't want to undermine that. You know, the problem is, I think some people are sort of pushed into believing that they should like it when... or that they should, you know, want that when it's not what they would have wanted otherwise. Not everyone who does it is going to have a good experience with it. And, you know, we shouldn't underestimate... There's some weird situations where, like, people who are, like, underage, or, like, you know, like, younger girls being told by, like, older women, like, yeah, you should get into this whenever you turn 18. You know, you should prep yourself, you should practice, and it's like, okay, well, that's pretty fucked up. But, you know, and that is something that does go on a little bit. And so, that is definitely the wrong reason to get into it, if you are being told by other people to do it. I think you should only do it if you really just come to that conclusion yourself, and if it's something you think you would like. Because I think that there are some people, like, trying to push a narrative and be like, oh, this is... everyone should do this, because it's, like, inherently empowering for everyone. That's not the case. It's empowering for some people, but you kind of have to be the right kind of person for it. So it's not like a simple matter. But, yeah. So... and, you know, some people come out of it with, like, bad experience, and they say they regret it, and they don't like it, and it's like, you know, that's a big deal. And so, it's something you should think you should be allowed to do it, but you should think carefully before doing it. You know, is this something you think that you'd regret doing? Is this something that, you know, you would... Are you prepared for the impacts it might have on your life? It is something you need to think about. And unfortunately, because we live in a world where people look down on that a lot, that's another thing you need to consider. Like, you might struggle to get jobs in the future. You know, that happened to Mia Khalifa. She couldn't have a normal life at all after she quit. And it was disastrous, and everyone on the internet was also dogging on her. She was the biggest meme. Everyone just made fun of her because they thought she was a huge joke. And meanwhile, you know, she's like an actual human being sitting around dealing with that crap. And like, thinking, man, I just wish I could leave all this behind me, and the whole internet's laughing at me. And, you know, that's kind of what you have to deal with sometimes. But, you know, that happened because, yeah, and she ended up kind of regretting that. I think she got into it later again, and that might be because she couldn't get anything else, but, like, I don't know. I don't actually know. I can't really speak on what happened later. I mean, one also has to take responsibility for what they do as well. I mean, yes, that's true. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, you need to think about this before you do it. I don't think it justifies people shaming you for it and, like, treating you as lesser for having done it. Because, again, I don't think you are lesser for doing that kind of work. But it is something you need to think carefully about. You know? It's not for everybody. Some people will thrive in it. Some people will find that it's very good for them. But for some people you won't. And so you need to really decide yourself if that's something that's like right for you, pretty much. So, because I think there's some people out there who are like, I'm sex positive and all that, but like there's such a thing as being too sex positive where you're like, yeah, everyone, oh yeah, like encouraging like young women to like all young women to get into it and being like, yeah, you know, this'll just give you easy money, free money. Just get into OnlyFans. You can become rich like me. And it's like, it's kind of harmful because like, that's not for everyone. You shouldn't treat it like it's for everyone. It's for some people. Alright, next one. Yeah, but anyway, I kind of got sidetracked there. I didn't talk about the pro wrestling very much. Yeah, but anyway, my point is, pro wrestling, yeah, there's still a lot of skill that goes into it, and there's a lot to like there, even aside from, even if it's, like, scripted. So, like, yeah, sure, that shouldn't be... I agree that's something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Short people. Written by short person. You know, that one's kind of hard. Because it's kind of hard to not look down on short people. Because, you know, I'm taller than them. How do you look at them aside from looking down to them? Like, that's like... I mean, what am I supposed to do? Like, get down on my knees to, like, be on, like, your level? Am I supposed to, like... What am I supposed to do? I don't know. Very few things are free money aside from having a lot of money, yeah. Just crouch down to their level, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't think I can talk about this one very long. Moving on to the next one. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Short equals everyone. Long equals everyone should be considered equal to each other, and no matter what, we are all humans. Yes, some are asshole or idiots, but we are all worth the same. This one's written by Utopia. Yeah, well, I guess it depends on how you view people who, like, do bad things, right? So some people would say, if you do bad things, you deserve bad things. Or, like, if you do bad things, you're, like, lesser. Then other people would say, no, even if you do bad things, you're still equal. Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of just a matter of opinion, I guess. Because, like... I don't know if I really view things in that sense anyway, because, like... I don't think value is an objective thing, so I kind of just think... Yeah, we should, like, just try to make the world as good as possible for as many people as possible. And sometimes that will involve punishing people who do bad things. And sometimes it'll involve being nicer to them. And I just think we should do whatever creates the best, like, outcome. I don't care about, like, treating people as lesser just because they've done something bad. I'd treat someone, I think we can punish people who do bad things if it will create a better outcome for other people. But I don't think there's, like, an inherent value in it, right? So, I don't think doing it just for the sake of revenge is worthwhile. I think we should aim for, like, rehabilitation where we can. And, like, just do what we have to make the world better, not just take out our revenge on people, It's not about just making evil people suffer, it's about making life better for good people, or for everyone in general. I think of punishing evil people as, like, a necessary thing to make the world better, but not as, like, something that... It's not something you should take joy in. You shouldn't be like, oh, we should be horrible to horrible people because that's good. It's like, no, you should do that to make the world better, not as a... it's like, it's a necessary evil whenever you punish someone, or you treat someone, or you have to do something bad to someone for a better outcome. That's sort of how I view it, I guess. If you do bad things, you should receive your due punishment, but still receive resources and opportunities to grow. Yeah, I agree. Murder is the perversion of the moral good of execution. Interesting quote. It's also a deterrent, otherwise people could just do it and then get off free by getting rehabilitated. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I think punishment still needs to exist, right? Like, I don't disagree with that. So yeah, I think, I still think the end goal is rehabilitation, but we need, like, a deterrent to stop people doing things. Like, again, that's why I think... That's the only reason I think we should do punishment. It's as a deterrent. I don't think of it as, like, there's an inherent good to it, right? I don't think it's, like... I don't think the suffering itself is good. I think it's good for how it creates better outcomes. Very few people commit crimes thinking they'll get caught? Really? People stealing in shops when there are riots won't get caught. That's true, I guess. Without punishment, there is no reason for bad behavior to change. Alright, next one, I think. Yeah. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon, sex workers. Okay, someone else also wrote that one, even though it was put earlier. Interesting. That's like a recurring one, then. No name written on that one, though. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. I got my wisdom teeth removed at Claire's. Written by Toybox. I don't know what Claire's is. If any of you guys want to tell me what that is, then... feel free to tell me. Don't know what that is. Or why people would look down on it. But do. When you commit crimes, do it under the assumption you'll get caught. I'd certainly try not to. But, like, I think that applies to, like, when they do it. But, like, they might not do it in the first place. If there's a deterrent, right? So... It's a jewelry kid shop. Oh. Claire's does wisdom teeth? That does sound unusual. Yeah, well, Claire's is a girly store where you can get your ears pierced there, but now apparently you're doing wisdom teeth, apparently. Damn. Yeah, that is kind of crazy, huh? Yeah. Got my ears pierced there, and I regret as I ended up in the hospital. Oh, damn. Yeah, it's, sounds like an interesting place. Wisdom teeth removal. That is kind of an out of left field thing to do. They don't seem to have specialized in that before. Seems to not, you know, the other things that they're doing seem kind of unrelated. Alright, next one. Oh my god. Who fucking wrote this? Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. I like sounding. The name they put is Exhibit. This was not written by Exhibit. Okay? Someone is impersonating me. What do you think? What are you trying to fool here? This... Why? You think you're gonna make me think that I wrote this? You think... Why would I write this kind of thing on my own freaking thing? Man. Silly people. When I did get my wisdom teeth removed, I did it at the dentist, but apparently I was very heavily drugged because I kept waking up mid-surgery and growling whenever a man was in the same room as me. Growling. Like that. I was gonna do that too, but I decided against it. Sounding? What's that? Oh, Belle, you weren't here whenever I had to explain that? Oh no. Belle, do not Google what sounding is. Do not Google it. Do not. No, Belle, no! No, 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 no! Wait, 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 wait! Alright, well... Alright, I'm gonna move to the next little thing. Where it be, where it be. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Screw it, I don't care how miserable this makes me writing this. Something that I feel is looked down upon is the variety of disabilities, mental and physical. It shouldn't be looked down because it can make people's lives very difficult, including mine. The amount of times my voice, especially when I was younger, and still today, was disregarded when I tried to explain my disability, which is partially still unknown because to what the hell is wrong with me. I would always get disgusted looks because I'm in a wheelchair or with a walker because I still have the ability to walk, or the fact that I need to sit down sooner. But get told I handled a bigger walk the other day, even though my pain scale is different every day depending on how tired it is. Or the fact that I cannot handle change, I cannot handle busy places, I cannot handle the outdoors. I started doing charity fundraising for a charity that helps support people like me who have a horrible condition called ACC, to try and get the word out about the charity and the condition that has its own national day, because people who have it are a lot of the time looked down on when we struggle to explain the issue with our brain, and I hate that. I hate that people with disabilities, either mental, physical, or even both together, are looked down on for something that none of us asked to be born with. This one was written by Zana. Right, so he ended up writing one in the end. Yeah, no, you're definitely right. People with... It is weird that people with disabilities are looked down on, because, again, that's something you don't choose to have, so... But... Yeah, I mean, it's a reoccurring sort of topic for us. It's definitely very true. I'll just rewatch the stream when Menhera Monday is over, so I spare y'all. Bell. Okay. I mean, I do appreciate people going back and watching the whole stream. I approve of people watching stream VODs when they miss stuff. But I don't know, Belle. I don't think you're gonna like what you see. But yeah, I agree. I'm just gonna move on to the next one, because I've talked about this many other weeks, so... But I don't mind you I don't mind you writing this though, because it's definitely like it's a good answer. So, what's something that's looked down upon that you think it shouldn't be? Let me add now, showing any weakness as a man makes you repulsive to women and ridiculed by men. I wish anyone gave me true advice rather than having me fall even more into despair and leaving me clueless when I asked for help, and telling me to toughen it up without actually giving any support and leaving me alone. And the name is someone suicidal. Yeah, we did go over this earlier in the stream. So yeah, like showing weakness is pretty showing weakness is looked down on if you're a man, which is not good because men do need help as well. You know, it's not feminine to need help. It's not feminine to struggle with things, and it doesn't make you a lesser person to struggle with things. You know? It's not a moral failing to struggle with something. It's not a moral failing, and it's not something you should feel ashamed of. You should never feel ashamed for something like that. You should always... You should recognize that, you know, you're still someone who matters, and you deserve to have good things happen to you, even if you struggle in life. You don't deserve bad things just because bad things are happening to you. And things can always get better no matter how bad things seem at the time. You know, there's a lot of people who have spent their whole life struggling with things and having horrible lives and thinking things will never get better. And then things do get better for them. And then they're glad that they stayed around. Because if they didn't, then they would have never found out, and they would have never experienced the joy that they ended up experiencing. And you know, I used to think my life would never get better. It used to be worse for me. And I every day wondered if every day would just be the same. If everything every day would be dull and unpleasant and difficult and horrible. And I sincerely wondered if that would ever change. I kind of thought, you know, what if this is just the way it is for the rest of my life? Like, I sincerely thought that maybe it would never change. But then things did, and they're better now. And they're not perfect, but they're better. And so, I feel like based on that personal experience, I think for other people, even if you think that it won't get better, that doesn't mean it won't. Because there's a lot of people in that position. And the worst thing you can do is give up hope of things ever getting better. You should at least believe that it's possible. You should hold out for that. You shouldn't let it get to you. You should try to always remember that you need to keep trying. Because things get so much worse whenever you give up. They become so much more painful. If you keep that hope alive in your heart, that itself will make it easier. And it's necessary to have that. Because if you don't have that, it's just worse. You know, that's what'll get you through. And yeah, on that note, you need to find people in your life that you can show weakness to. Because if you don't have people like that you can be yourself around, then it'll just be really difficult for you. So, I think we all kind of need people we can be sensitive around and show weakness around. So if this person doesn't have that in their life already, then, you know, that's something you need. You know, try to find... And if you have friends that, like, aren't okay with you showing weakness, they're probably not the kinds of friends you want to stick around with. So, like, if you show weakness to someone and then they leave you, try not to feel bad about that, because that's not someone you should have had. That's not someone worth keeping around. So don't be afraid to show that to people and then see how people react to it. To see if there's someone you can stick with and trust. So... yeah, but then it's difficult if they disregard that and then treat you badly. So I don't know, I think I'm kind of... take that last bit with a grain of salt. But do try to find people who can be open And, you know, if there's someone in your life that is willing to take that, then don't be afraid to show that to them. Because, you know, that's something you gotta keep a hold of. Belle, you don't want that in your search history? True. Do that if you want, but I promise you're happier as you are now? True. Very unfortunate how people with disabilities are looked down upon by the general public. Yep. If anything, I'll wrap up your watching hours. Supporting Exhibit A. Hell yeah. I do like it when people watch the VODs, because people miss streams. You can always go back and watch stuff. I approve of people doing that. When I was younger, guys would ridicule me for my lack of strength. One of the many reasons I love women. Fair enough, yeah. Because, like, what, yeah, I mean... Yeah, I don't know. I mean... Yeah, if you, I don't know what I was gonna say, never mind. Yeah, I mean, I've always preferred the company of women from a young age. Even if there's no, like, romantic interest, or I don't find them attractive. Women are just pretty cool. They're cool. I like how they think and exist. Same exhibit, I did think that everything was bad and awful and that it wouldn't get better than I found here. Thank you, Exhibit A. You see that as if women are not the first to ridicule men and try to destroy them through shame. I mean, not all people are like that, though. You gotta, like... You can't really, like, generalize whole groups of people, you know? I've met plenty of women who aren't like that at all. I have a lot of women in my life who don't do stuff like that. But I don't really like to generalize men either. I try to give everybody their own chance based on who they are. Or not based, I give them their own chance as an individual, I mean. Alright. Alright, next one. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Freaking your sister or something, IDK. And there's no name. Wow, no name, huh? Who wrote this one? Real, though. Real. Alright, well, next one. I don't know, there's much to discuss here. Alright. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Ignore that imposter exhibit's previous statement. I'm the real exhibit and I love sounding. Written by Exhibit A. Bro, stop! I'm the real exhibit. Did you respond to your own form again? No. No, that wasn't me. No, it's the kind of thing I would write. Example B, where would you write that answer? And no, it was not me. It's not me. Not me. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. I also like docking, written by Exhibit A. I forget what docking is. What was that again? I remember, oh. Oh. Don't look it up, guys. Don't look this up. Don't look it up on Urban Dictionary. Don't look that up, guys. Don't look that up. Don't look up docking. Don't do that. Bad idea. Exhibit has 15 starter kits on the way, just letting you know. Well, no, I don't need 15 starter kits. I don't need any of them. Wait, what is it? You guys, I need to look this one up yourself. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Being a virgin, if you don't lose it by your teen, it's over for you. You are forever a creep, and I don't want to go with an immature man, and you will forever be doomed to be one. This one was written by Andrew Tate. That doesn't seem like something Andrew Tate would say. I think Andrew Tate would be like, if you don't have sex, you are weak. You need to be Omega Chad who fucks many people. Gotta be Omega Chad. I don't think Andrew Tate would say that you shouldn't be looked down on for being a virgin. I think he would call people a virgin as an insult. It's more his style. Change the music. How long has it been on this music? We can change the music. What about the cyberpunk bartender? Alright, is that loud enough? Yeah. Evil Andrew Tate be like... When two uncircumcised ducks make out, swallow each other if you have to know. Yeah, that's what docking is. Hope you're happy, Belle. What if Belle's into that? She might, yeah. No more. I guess it wouldn't be as weird for, like... I guess if you're attracted to guys, that's something you'd... maybe that's something you'd like. Because, like, that's just, like, a weird kind of... Whatever. Moving on. Alright, and this one's the last one. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Wanting to fuck a Glaceon. No name. Ah, that's a callback. Bro, you guys remember... For those of you who weren't here, I did 1 week where it was, what are your hear me outs? And someone put Glaceon, the Pokemon. Wanting to fuck a Glaceon. I mean, to each their own, you know? This guy really likes Glaceons. I have no idea if I'm into it. I guess I'll have to watch it. Bell! I'm very upset I missed that stream. Yeah, it's a real shame. That was like a really... That was a cool stream. Everyone gave us their hear me outs. They were all very weird. I remember, yeah. It was a cool time. Oh, wait, there's one more. Someone added one while I was, during just now. Alright, let's read it. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. I'm so gay, written by Exhibit. Man, that's not me. That's not me. It's not me. Vaporeon is better. Yeah, you prefer Vaporeon? The one who liked Glaceon liked it because of the Hime cut. You know, the hairstyle it kind of has. Although it's not really hair, but it looks like hair. Alright, well, it would appear we've gone through all of them. Let's see. Yeah, cool stuff. Lots of confessions coming from Exhibit this stream. They are not from me! They are not from me! I was the only one with normal hear me outs and your eyes exhibit. I'm assuming that may or may not have to do with your opinion. Wait, I don't remember. I don't remember what. I didn't give my hear me outs on it during that stream, did I? Or was it Oh no. Okay, I know what you mean. You were talking about it being Ashley. But I wasn't assuming you meant that you would be her brother. Cause yeah, But yeah, okay, so how long has this been going for? How do I check how long I've been streaming? I think I can check it here. No shame now, we all have our own confessions. Yes, we've all got weird desires. But yeah, guys, oh, some more have been added. Let's see. Oh, okay. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Believing in God. No name. What's the next one? Oh my god. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. I think that's supposed to say Charizarding. Bro. Yeah, these two last ones are very different from each other. Believing in God and Charizarding. You guys don't know what Charizarding is. I looked it up once. Let me look it up again. Charizarding. Bro. Charizarding. When you light a girl's pubes on fire, put it out with your jizz, then flap your arms and say, "You don't have enough badges to train me." Bro, who the fuck comes up with these? Who came up with... Why is this a word? Why? Why? That is such a specific situation. Who freaking did that? Someone just had to come up with such a weird specific name for their, like, thing that they've done that literally no one else has ever done. Bro. Bro. Yeah, okay. I don't know if there's anything else to, I don't think there's anything else to go over. So... What about Cleveland Steamer and Alabama Hot Pocket? Oh no. Bro. Okay, I'm interested in Alabama Hot Pocket. For reasons that... no reason. But ugh. No! Alabama Hot Pocket. No, do not look that one up. I'm not saying that one on stream. I'm not. Sorry, you have to look this one up, okay? If you want it. I'm not. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Can we not end on that? No more rendition. Don't end on that note. Okay, well, okay, listen, we can end on a different note. What do we do? What do we... Don't look it up. Don't look it up. I was interested because of the Alabama part, but not the part that I saw when I actually looked it up. To release Eden Warm safety, I'm gonna fucking ban you. Mods! You guys just don't get it. Mods, get ban safety. Honestly, sounds better than sounding to me. I'd rather do that instead. Yeah, the lesser of the evils to you. I mean, makes sense, because I think sounding might damage you permanently. But it's still very disgusting. What mods? No, I don't have mods. That's kind of part of the joke, but like... I could add mods at some point. I could. Yeah, well, oh, an extra one. Come on. Another one about sounding? Sounding, I have 15 starter kits on the way. I will be using them all. I'm not wasteful, but every time I try to tell people about my passion for this fine activity, they all look at me weird. Written by Exhibit A. But that is fake. That is not me. That is some random person. Bro, come on. Mods, Minecraft, modded Minecraft? True. Yeah, it's like mods for Minecraft. Exactly like that. Better have graphics mod. Yeah, graphics mod are the coolest. At least I'm learning. Yeah, I'm glad you're learning, Belle. Glad you're learning. You're learning so much. Wow. Very good. We've all learned so much today, guys. I'm so happy. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay. I think that's everything. If anyone has any last words, please say them now, because I'm probably ending. I don't think I have anything else to read. But it's been a cool stream. We've learned a lot. We've done good stuff. I had some good numbers. You missed my extra answer? Let me check. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Good news, I found a DS stylus. Exhibit A. Come on! Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. The lion violates the small rabbit. He does not wipe. Stay kinging. What does this mean? What does this mean? I don't think I want to know. Is he gonna murder us all? Yeah. What is going on, man? Alright, I think... Alright, that's, yeah, alright, well... If there are no last words... Oh, there's another one. Bro, you keep adding these. Is it gonna be... This is gonna be another fuck-ass one. I'm gay for Daniel, written by Exhibit A. Bro. No more. No more. You've lost Menhera Monday privileges. You've lost Menhera Monday privileges. No more. Okay, well, I'll read this one. Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. Read deeper and one day you will become the lion. The lion perks up at the sound of rabbits. He knows it's time to ravish. What is this? Is this, are these like Sigma male quotes? Something that shouldn't be looked down upon. I need cock crying emoji. Okay. Alright. Well, thank you all for being here at the stream. It's been very cool. I don't want to become the lion. Do you want to be the rabbit, Spider? Alright, yeah. It's been very cool. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you in the future. And without further ado, I will see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.